Ladies and gentlemen, Lucid Motors is going to move big in this upcoming trading week. We know we have earnings on Monday. Not too much is expected from revenue numbers, but we're definitely expecting some forward-looking guidance and hopefully more pre-orders that have been added to the books. So that's going to be a key thing, along with other things that we will talk about in this video. But mainly, what is leading me towards this bullish rally instead of a bearish downtrend is a lot of other factors, including one of the biggest ones and one of my favorite ones is hedge funds and institutions are buying the crap out of Lucid Motors. There's no other way to put it. They are loading the boat. And if hedge funds and institutions with more knowledge and information than us are buying the stock like crazy after it's up 100%, I think that's a clear sign we're headed for an even bigger rally. As well as Lucid Motors' current valuation is somewhat supported by Rivian. So let's get into this video. Hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you guys are not signed up with Webull, Public, and Moomoo, check that out. Link down below in the description to get all the free stock your guys' heart desires with little or no deposit necessary. As well as if you guys want access to all of my trades, my buys, my sells, as far as long-term investing, day trading, swing trading with stock options and or crypto, check that out. Link down below for the buy and sellers. We have been killing it over there. Now let's talk specifically Lucid Motors, what you guys clicked on this video for, and how we know Lucid is going to move big to the upside or the downside. Now, if you guys agree with my thesis, by all means, feel free to disagree. I'm not trying to influence your guys' decision. Ultimately, your hard-earned money is worth protecting. If you don't agree with me, then obviously you're probably bearish on this earnings or this upcoming week, and feel free to do whatever you guys want with your positions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner, so I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, when to buy, when to sell. But looking at the overall just picture of Lucid Motors, as far as the technical analysis is concerned, we are hitting higher lows. So on a technical basis, we are very bullish. We have been holding up over $40 for about a week now, and even before that we approached 40, fell back down as you guys can see right here to about $33, rallied up to 40, and then stayed above 40, even went above $45, and then only came back down to $40. So we're definitely seeing a strong level of support, like I do have marked right here with this blue line at $40 per share. So I think it's going to take some really bad news to push Lucid Motors under $40 until the overall EV market settles down. Yes, I think you can feel safe buying Lucid Motors for the long term, for 5-10 years down the road at these current prices, but I would definitely not be going too crazy right now in general in the EV market, unless you want to go with something like NIO or some Chinese EV makers that have just been beaten down because of the government situation. But Rivian, that valuation being so high at $111 billion supports Lucid Motors valuation at $71 billion. Arguably, Lucid Motors is a much better company. In my personal opinion, it is. You guys might have your own opinion on that, but if you're going to value Rivian over $42 billion higher than Lucid, it definitely supports its current valuation, and that's a lot of what is keeping it propped up for so long. I know a lot of people thought we were going to rally and then come straight back down, but that has obviously not been the case. So we've already made the point here. The technical analysis looks set up for a major rally. There's no denying that. That's not a question. Now, when we get into the earnings and what is expected, that's really where the debate comes in. Will we fall? Will we go higher? And why I think we will go higher is because there is not a lot of expectations for earnings. I believe, let me double check, that earnings is going to be after hours on Monday, November 15th. It's widely expected we're obviously going to lose money. Lucid Motors not expected to be profitable till at least 2023. But what is going to be more important is how many pre-orders they have on their books, what kind of innovation is announced, what is new with the company. Nobody expects them to produce really any revenue at all. We may see some pre-order revenue if they decide to let us in on that information. It's not technically revenue because it's refundable until the vehicle is actually delivered, and that has actually been fulfilled on the obligation between obviously the buyer of Lucid vehicles and Lucid Motors. But still, we could get some revenue numbers. Nothing crazy is expected though, but the guidance and really how many reservations are announced. If we do see a high level of reservations that are now announced, a couple thousand more. Last time we knew it was about 13,000, obviously give or take. It probably changes every single day by a couple hundred at least. 13,000 reservations last we knew. If we could come in between 15 and 20,000 reservations, I think that's a great sign whatsoever. And when you're comparing Lucid to its peers like Rivian, that's only expected to deliver about 156 vehicles by the end of 2021, and Lucid that's expected to deliver about 550 vehicles by the end of 2021, obviously Lucid is seen as a better candidate, in my personal opinion. Maybe you guys, let me know if you guys think Rivian is a better stock than Lucid Motors. We could totally have that discussion down below, and that would be very helpful overall. But now, as far as the rest of 2021, obviously this is not the numbers that are going to be announced on the earnings call, but the average revenue forecast for 2021 is 76.14 million, and for 2022 is 1.74 billion. Lucid Group now has a market capitalization of 59.87 billion. Obviously, it's a little bit higher than that. Now, like I said, at about $71 billion on Robinhood. I believe it's about $72 billion though, once all is said and done. Now, that is the first thing. Like I said, with earnings, I think you're going to get some level of announcements, some good news that is going to come out, as well as that the institutional buys to sells are insane. For Q3, we are over on MarketBeat for Lucid Motors. We can see Q3 2021, which is what we are being reported on right now. The amount of money that has flowed into Lucid Motors from institutional investors, $480 million have been bought. $0 have been sold. This is incredible right here. This is a crazy ratio. Obviously, by the time we get all the 13F filings that have come out, we will get a more refined number. There will be some selling. There will be much more buying. But still, however it plans out, the ratios here are incredible. And obviously, analyst expectations, institutional hedge funds, all of these big time players with influence around a stock are bullish on Lucid Motors. That's not a secret, but to see it reflected in the data, definitely a great thing. Now, along those same lines, because that data is coming from the 13F filings, you guys can see the swamp of green filings here. And most of these red, obviously, lines are very small positions overall, or they are firms selling out of put positions, which would be a directionally bullish thing to do, to sell out of your put position. JP Morgan Chase right here sold out of their put position. Somebody sold out of their long position, sold out of long position, but you do see a lot of puts that have been sold, as well as calls, obviously, because the stock has went up so much. But as far as actual equity, much more buying, and that's exactly what we've seen from MarketBeat and what we see on the 13F filings. Not too many notable players to point out at the current moment, but still just a lot of bullish activity nevertheless. And as far as the Ortex data, going over the short squeeze side of this trade, the last exchange reported short interest we got was from October 29th, and we came in at 10% short interest with a 1 day to cover. Shorted shares at about 54.22 million. That's a decent amount for the volume that we see on any given day. That even on a Friday was at 41 million. So that's over all of Friday's volume put together, just going into cover on short position. So you're definitely going to see some buying power go into Lucid Motors just from shorts covering, probably over an extended period. If Lucid Motors goes crazy, really passes over that $50 level, you're going to see some shorts be forced to cover and some forced recalls that could come to the stock. And now the final thing, which is really, has had the most influence on Lucid Motors, is definitely the gamma squeeze. And we have seen this throughout the past couple of weeks since Lucid has really started to rally. From really the $40 strike all the way down the chain, you're seeing a lot of activity, and even these strikes that are, let's say, the December 17th, whereas if you were an investor in Lucid Motors over the past couple of months, like I have been, you likely have strikes in between the 20, the $30 strike. Now these are deep into the money. So the longer this goes, the higher essentially the gamma goes, and the more hedging the market makers have to do, it's called delta hedging, to remain directionally neutral on these essentially short calls. Because they've shorted them, you're winning on yours, so somebody is losing on the other one. To remain basically neutral and to not lose money, you have to go out on the open market and buy shares. As the stock goes up, you buy more shares, and how do I say this? The closer you get to expiration, the more shares have to be bought at a faster rate. So let's say Lucid went to $100. These $20, $30 calls, you're going to see substantial buying because these are deep into the money at this current moment. Closer you get to expiration, the more shares have to be bought in a more rapid fashion. Hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. Hopefully you guys are somewhat familiar with a gamma squeeze. If you are, that makes a lot of sense to you guys. If you're not, it probably doesn't make too much sense to you guys, and I do apologize. So overall, you're just seeing a lot of option activity week over week, and you're seeing a lot of volume on these options on a daily basis. A lot of people are trading this as well with shares and with the option. So you are just seeing a gamma squeeze over the past couple of weeks that is going to continue as the data is showing us. Mix that with the institutional investors that are just buying the stock, this big catalyst for earnings that is after hours, obviously tomorrow, Monday, and just the bullish technical setup that we are seeing, the gamma squeeze. All of this is leading me to believe we are going to move big with Lucid Motors. If you guys disagree with this, let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to have a conversation about this. I'm not saying I'm always right. The data is definitely in the bullish favor here, but if I'm missing something, let me know. Make your argument down there. Love and appreciate every single one of you guys. That is going to conclude this video. Check out all of the links in the description of this video to support the channel, as well as mutual benefit, get free stocks, and the buy and sell alerts if you guys want to be notified every time I make a trade in stock options and or crypto. Like I said, that is your way to do that. And before I get ahead of myself, if you guys are new to the channel, here is my position in Lucid Motors, and then we will conclude this video, I promise. So $6,706.38 is my gain in Lucid Motors, up 104.19%. Average cost of $21.46 per share on 300 shares, at about 28% of my portfolio. I got clapped on these cover calls, these $42 cover calls. They added more strikes. I guess I didn't see them, or I sold these before I seen them. I'm not exactly sure how this works because I did not want to agree to sell my shares at $42, even though it's about a 100% return. I still didn't want to do that. So I'm significantly underwater on these guys, not even going to lie to you. I sold them for $215. Obviously, before the rally started, which in hindsight was a terrible move, and down about 400% on them. Still, it's not affecting me because I'm positive overall. My break even is $44.15 per share. Yeah, I sold these October 26th. That was terrible timing on my part. But, you know, if I want to get out of these, all I have to do is buy them back for what, $3,210, and then go out to, say, the May expiration date, and all I have to do is collect more than what I bought these for. So if I bought it for what, $1,070, I could go out to the May, and I've said this many times to you guys, and say sell the $50 calls right after I repurchase the ones I'm down for, so I'd be down a substantial amount of money. Sell these again, agree to sell my shares at $50 instead of $42, collect a little bit more premium, and hope to pray to the stock gods that Lucid is under $50 by May 2022. I'm probably going to let these ride out. I don't think Lucid will be above $42 by the time this is said and done. We've went up a lot. We have to come down at some point into the future. So that's my plan on that. That's my position for full transparency. Now that is going to conclude this video. You guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Love you guys for watching this video and making my dreams come true, making YouTube videos. So that's all. I will see you guys in the next one.